let's get more reaction following the Constitutional Court decision to reject President Cyril Ramaphosa's bid to challenge the Section 89 independent panel report into Phala Phala, saying no case has been made for exclusive jurisdiction or direct access. We're now joined via Zoom by Mr. Vuyolwethu Zungula, leader of the African Transformation Movement. Sir, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you, Unati. Just an addition, the president sought basically three things. It was direct access, exclusive jurisdiction, and the application to intervene. So what the court said is that all three applications of the president, or what the president asked in that application, have been dismissed. So that application to intervene basically speaks to the substance or the merit of the case.
And yet the presidency says the Constitutional Court ruling against the president is not a blow. In fact, I spoke to one legal analyst who agrees. Your response to that ruling?
Look, if it's not a blow, I don't know what it could be. Because what is important here, Unati, is that firstly, South Africans must know what transpired in Phala Phala. And the proper mechanism to do that was via the impeachment process in Parliament. It is the very same impeachment process that found that Mr. Ramaphosa has got a serious case to answer. So when he went to court, based on the legal advice of whoever, decided to go to the Constitutional Court to ask for three things. One is direct access. The second thing, it is exclusive jurisdiction. And the third one, it is the application for the court to intervene on, whatever cries that he had. Therefore, when the court is dismissing basically everything, what the court is basically saying is that based on the papers that was before the court, it did not even merit that the court listens to, arguments. It is not worth it for the court to even listen to the matter. It dismissed everything. Therefore, what that effectively means is that there is no legal grounding for Mr. Ramaphosa to say that report is legally flawed. That report still stands, and that report still says that there's a serious case to answer. And up until that case has been answered, we as the ATM, including all South Africans, they must not rest, because we must not relax up until we are certain that we have a president that acts and operates in line with the law. Because as things stand now, if a person has been found by a competent body led by a retired Chief Justice, and that body determines that this person has seriously violated the Constitution, therefore we need to be suspicious of him delivering SONA, him appointing cabinet, because clearly he is not acting in the best interest of the country. He is not acting in line with the Constitution.
Well, let's talk then about that report. I mean, the independent panel report found, as you said, that there was prima facie evidence, that the president may have committed a serious violation of the Constitution, the law, and serious misconduct in connection with this involvement, in the Phala Phala matter. What is your next move then, and especially in as far as Parliament is concerned?
We are in contact and conversation with our legal representatives for us to determine the next step. But I think what is important for South Africans, South Africans must understand the importance of that institution called the president of the country. And secondly, must understand that when a person has been found by a retired Chief Justice, we're not talking about he's been found by a man on the street, but he's been found by a person who used to head our legislative arm, that this person has seriously violated the Constitution, serious misconduct. What that effectively means is that South Africans could be led by a mafia, a person that is involved in criminal syndicates, a mafia. That is why it's important that South Africans must not let this pass by. We know, Unati, there are very, very concerning statements that are made by people, including people such as the former public protector, who downplay the seriousness of this Phala Phala scandal by saying the president was not accused of corruption, whereas the president is accused of money laundering, tax evasion, kidnapping, serious crimes, So that is why it's important for Parliament. All South Africans must have, that comfort of knowing that the president has either done something wrong or the president has not done something wrong. I've just read that the DA has approached Parliament as well to establish an ad hoc committee so that this matter is further probed, because it is important that South Africans must have that comfort that their president has not been found, being mired or entangled in a criminal network system.
You're talking about this ad hoc committee, and in fact, I saw the DA's utterances, following this ruling. Do you have no hope then in the investigations that we are told are currently ongoing, by the Hawks? And of course, you've mentioned the public protector. I mean, we still have not seen that report by the public protector.
All of these institutions, from your Hawks, SARS, public protector, they are appointed by the president. They report to the president, and they are subjected to the political influence of the president. Now, hence you find that even with the Hawks, Mr. Fraser submitted an affidavit with evidence in June last year already. We are now in the 8th month, after that complaint was submitted by Mr. Fraser. But if you can ask yourself, even ask the people from the Hawks, is the president under investigation? The answer is, they give you a vague answer. That blatantly tells you that these institutions are scared, to hold the executive accountable, are scared to apply the law equally. We want, as the ATM, each and every South African must be subjected to the law equally, in the sense that a person, just by him being president, must not be treated differently. Because me and if it was an Unati Patyashe that was, there was a complaint against her, to that effect, there could have been tangible action by all of these institutions. That is why we are fighting that the state must, and its institutions must not be collapsed because of wanting to protect one person. Now, the role of Parliament is important because Parliament, the members of Parliament, particularly the opposition, were not in the mercy of the president. Our stay in Parliament is dependent on South Africans. That is why you are openly holding the president accountable. Whereas the other institutions, if they want promotions, if they want a long stay, some of them, they are fearful in terms of doing what the constitution and what the law requires of them. That is why they are finding it difficult to pronounce, because an investigation should not take more than 8 months. It should not take more than 8 months for the Reserve Bank to say the Reserve Bank laws or foreign currency laws have been violated. It should not take 8 months for SARS to say taxes were paid and there was no tax evasion. But we're seeing all of this mess because some of the people in these institutions are fearful to apply the law equally, and that is what we are fighting against.
Mr. Zungula, thank you so much for your comments this afternoon. Really do appreciate it. That was ATM President and leader Vuyolwethu Zungula speaking there for us.